I brought them out of the land of Egypt. Didn't God deal with the people there face to face? Yep. Didn't the Lord come down and stand on the Mount Sinai and deal directly with the people?
That's right.
He said, just like I did it when I brought you out of Egypt, that's how I'm going to do it this time when I gather you out of all nations wherein you've been scattered. I'm going to deal with you face to face, and I'm going to make the covenant with you there in the wilderness. Read a little bit more.
And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
Go ahead.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me.
Where was a Persian that went on there? But no Persian, was it? You know, them people just packed up one day and left Europe, wherever they was, and went back and set up over there in the land, didn't they?
That's right.
The United Nations, that's who set them up. God didn't set them up. Go and read history. That's who set them up. But the Lord said, when I bring you back, I'm going to first plead with you there in the wilderness face to face, and I'm going to purge out the rebels, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. You know, all these are facts that you are dealing with. This is how it must happen. And if it have not happened yet, if it have not happened this way yet, then the Lord have not returned Israel to the land yet. It is just that simple. You know, you got facts here. Deal with facts and stop dealing with your emotions and what somebody have told you. Read a little bit more.
And I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel.
Now, whatever country that they sojourn in, the Lord said, I'm going to bring them out of there. Wherever you are, Israel, and they are everywhere, aren't they? Because the Lord said, I'm going to scatter you throughout all nations in the bondage, didn't he? Wherever you are, I'm going to bring you out of there. But once I purged out the rebels, he said they will not enter into the land of Israel. And that lets you know one thing, too, that there will be some rebels. Somebody going to get over there in the wilderness and they going to rebel. And the wilderness, as far as they go, you know, Israel got that rebellion spirit anyway. Always looking to rebel against something. But the Lord going to deal with the rebels. He said, I'm going to purge out the rebels and they will not get in the land. Go back and look at how he did it when he brought them out of Egypt. You know how many got into the land? 2. All the rest of them was children under the age of 20. Lord mean what he said. You know, we've seen that already, haven't we? You know, because everybody going, do what they want to do. You know, they're going to get over there and they're going to tell God, well, I ain't going to do this. All right. Well, show him where his spot is. He got a spot over there. I got a special spot prepared for him over there. Because the Lord going to purge out the rebels right there like he did when he brought them out of Egypt. Now, let's go. We got 2 other places to go. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Jeremiah 30, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. 30 and 1. 30 and 1. We got this one and one more, and you out of here. 30 and 1. Okay, go ahead and read.
The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel, saying, Write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book.
And he wrote them down, and we have them right here. Go ahead and read on.
For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah.
See what I said? I'm going to bring back the captivity of Israel and Judah. That's the whole nation, isn't it? You know, all 12 tribes. He said, I'm going to bring them back from captivity. Go ahead and read on.
Saith the Lord, and he said, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it.
Go ahead and read it.
And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace.
In other words, when I gather them, it will not be a good time. There will be a voice of trembling and of fear and not of peace. The Lord even called it a time of Jacob's trouble, which we understand is dealing with the great tribulation that's going to take place just before the coming of the Lord. Go ahead and read on.
Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail of a trial.
Go ahead.
Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins,
Go ahead.
as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness.
Go ahead and read it.
At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
Now, there ain't what but one day that is great and ain't none like it. You know, Jesus told you about in 24th chapter of Matthew, and Daniel told you about in 12th chapter of Daniel. A time of trouble like never before, and shall ever be again. And the Lord even called it Jacob's time of Jacob's trouble, because at this time Jacob gonna really be in trouble. Go ahead and read on.
It is even a time of Jacob's trouble.
And you can see Jacob's trouble approaching right now. You know, when the world is in trouble, Israel is in double trouble. You understand what I'm saying? Because the curses, the plagues always come on Israel before they get to the rest of the world. And these are some terrible times that we are living in, and you may as well hear it. They ain't going to get no better. You know, you might improve a little bit for a minute, but it's going to come right back to where it is and continue to get worse. That is a fact. You know how I know that's a fact? Because it's the time that we are living in. A time of Jacob's trouble, a time leading up until the great tribulation. Because it is almost time for the Lord to come and to gather Israel. So don't expect it to get a whole lot better. I know that ain't good news to your ears, but that's just how it is. One thing you're going to have to learn is to deal with the facts, because they ain't going to be as the Lord done pronounced it. You know, you go and read the sign of the Lord's coming. He told you there's going to be wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in divers places. And he said all these are only the beginning of sorrows. So we are in the really beginning of the sorrow, but it's going to get worse. Make no mistake about it. Go ahead and read some more, though.
But he shall be saved out of it.
But the Lord said it's a time of Jacob's trouble, but I'm going to save him out of them. Go ahead and read on.
For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
See what the Lord is saying? He said, I'm going to break his yoke from off his neck, and strangers ain't going to no more serve themselves of him. In other words, they ain't going to spoil Israel no more. But this is who they going to serve. Go ahead and read.
But they shall serve the Lord their God.
He said, but they going to serve the Lord their God, and who else?
And David their king, whom I will raise up unto them.
Now he said they're going to serve the Lord their, when I bring them back from captivity, they're going to serve the Lord their God and David their king, who I raised up unto them. I looked over there, I look almost every day, and I'm still waiting to see David. How they going to serve the Lord their God and David their king, who God going to raise up unto them, when David is still in the ground, and David will not come up out of the ground until the coming of the Lord.
That's right.
He said, but at that time, I'm going to gather Israel and I'm going to gather Judah. Read that next verse.
Therefore fear thou not.
He said, therefore don't fear, O my servant Jacob. Go ahead and read.
O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord.
Go ahead.
Neither be dismayed, O Israel.
Go ahead.
For lo, I will save thee from afar.
Wherever you are, Israel, here, I'm going to save you from that. You know, I brought this thing up on you for a time and for a reason. Why? Because you refused to obey my commandment. But as I had Isaiah right, the Lord would not keep his anger forever. He said, I'm going to save you out of all of the places wherein you are dwelling. Go ahead and read on.
And thy seed from the land of their captivity.
And he said, I seed from the land of their captivity. Go ahead and read.
And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
Well, he told you in Deuteronomy you're going to be afraid of everything, didn't he? He said, but when I gather you back, you're going to be quiet, and you're going to be at rest. And you will not be afraid anymore. We got one more place. And then that'll be Ezekiel chapter 37. And we're going to pick it up at verse 16. Ezekiel 37. And we'll begin reading at verse 16. 37 and 16. 37 and 16. Okay. Go ahead and read.
Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah.
Now he said, I want you to take one stick and I want you to write up on it for Judah. Go ahead and read.
And for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick.
Go ahead.
And write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim. And for all the house of Israel, his companions.
You know, sometimes the 10 tribes, they're referred to as Ephraim and Joseph. So now you got them all here. One stick for Judah and then one stick for Ephraim and Joseph, his companions. Go ahead and read on.
And join them one to another.
He said, then I want you to join these sticks one to another. Go ahead and read on.
Into one stick. And they shall become one in thine hand.
He said, I want you to join them into one stick, and they shall become one in thy hand, because they have been two sticks ever since 722 BC, and they have not been joined even unto this very day. Go ahead and read some more.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?
Now he said, then when the children of your people ask you, Ezekiel, what do you mean by joining these two sticks together? Go ahead and read on.
Say unto them,